What we're going to do is what I call the starting five. These are sort of my 5 favorite plays for today with the way the slate looks right now. Dante DiVincenzo, Dylan Harper, Royce O'Neal, Matas Buzelis, Nikola Jokic for a little bit lighter ownership. Leaves us $18,500 remaining to fill out guard, forward, and utility. So we got about $6K left for each individual spot. But we can fill those spots in so many different ways. And that's going to be the point of this. Think of the perfect lineup, but for basketball. So what we want to do first, we've locked these guys in. Let's see what the optimal lineup looks like around them. We've got no randomness applied. This is just going to take the 3 best plays available to build out the rest of this lineup. I'll click complete this lineup to check it out. It ends up giving us Josh Giddey, Andre Drummond, and Jaden McDaniels. So that is the first trio that we're going to look at. But we want to look at some other 3v3s as well. Let's first run this simulation to know what our optimal baseline is, because now we know how we want to work around projection and ownership. That's a pretty decent start to the starting 5. My 5 guys plus the 3 optimal plays around them. 138 sim ROI, 0.4% chance to win, 48% cash rate. Amazing start. I'm going to clone this lineup. So we're in the single lineup sim. I want to save that so we don't lose that data. I'm going to copy that lineup and we're going to hop into it again. We're going to clear it so that we get rid of Harper, or we get rid of those 3 random guys. And what I'm going to do is set this to 10% randomness. And now we're going to see, do we get a different set of 3 guys? Now, obviously, we could get the same 3. If we do, we'll randomize it again. Now we've changed it up a little bit. We had our 3v3 before. Now it's Mike Conley. It's still Andre Drummond, but now it's Anthony Davis. And we've got this double pay up set up. So if we go back and look at the original lineup, we're giving up 3.5 points in fantasy points, but we're barely gaining any ownership. It's only 2% difference. Lineup number 2 is going to be significantly worse than lineup number 1 because we gave up too many of our fantasy points. 94 sim ROI. It's still a great structure, but we didn't gain enough in ownership to improve the lineup. So I'm not all that concerned with this one. We're going to throw it in the trash. We're going to generate it again. Trey Jones, Andre Drummond, and Paolo Banchero. Okay? Now we're down 4.5 fantasy points from 283 to 278.5, but we've dropped 7 ownership points. A little bit more than that second lineup. We've got $900 left on the table, and I think that's the biggest problem for us right now. The range we have left isn't all that appealing. 63% sim ROI. So what I want to do now, we know what we want. I don't want to randomize it. I'm going to build what I think can be the best option that fits into these remaining spots, which allows me to get to Zion. And now we fill out optimally with Trey Jones. Now look at the difference in ownership. Did we give up a lot of fantasy points? Yes, we gave up a lot of fantasy points. Too many probably, but we did give up 35 points in ownership. The context for this one will be interesting because this is a different structure, but we probably gave up too much. Basketball is different than football. See, 35% ROI. I think what we found out pretty quickly was that the best thing we could do was the first thing that we did. The optimal lineup around the starting 5. 100 plus sim ROI. This is the starting 5. This is how I want everybody to think about building lineups. Find your guys. Find your 4-man core, your 5-man core, whatever you're trying to build around. And then you work through the single lineup sim to tweak your exposures to see, does this 3v3 work? Does that 3v3 work? Maybe I need 4 guys from my core in this one instead of 5 so that I can make the rest of this lineup work. But you can start with what you want. I think you guys should start with my starting five.